So you use chatbots on a daily basis, right? But have you really paused to think, is your usage safe and responsible or not? Meaning, is the AI really helping you, or is it giving you like a hasty or a fast response without taking into consideration if you could really land into trouble with legal or any other professional services? Because AI can never take over trained professionals. This video is in response to this comment that was pasted on this video, where I talked about how in August 2026, professional areas can still not be replicated by AI at all. So, as we want to make sure that our AI usage is safeguarded and responsible, I really wanted to break down today's video into two aspects. The first, I wanted to show you how safeguards are built into chatbots so that it can make sure that data is properly compartmentalized so that all data doesn't go out to everybody. So let's say that you are a new business owner and you have multiple employees and you have some departments who need access to all data while other departments who only need access to some amount of data. How do you ensure you have data security? Because at the end of the day, the only person who wins with AI is the person who has the cleanest data. If you give garbage data in, you're gonna get garbage AI out. So, in order to make sure that the right guardrails are built around these AI securities, there are a number of mechanisms that as startups, that as people who are using AI on a regular basis, they need to put in so that the data usage is safe and secure. So in the first part of this video, I'm going to break down if I were an entrepreneur and if I have my own business. Today's case would be Sohini's flower shop, and I'm going to show you an example how some areas like payroll may need access to all data, while some other areas such as operations, research, they may only need compartmentalized data. And if you have data all in one place, which is upstream, we are going to compartmentalize it using Graphical database so that you only have access to the data you need and you do not access or abuse data or help or assist data leakage in any way. If you would really like to know how data leakage can be prevented with AI, please like, share, subscribe, and follow. And in the second part, I'm going to answer this comment where he asks, what are the safe and secure practices that we as a user should be using around AI? I'm going to show you 3 steps in order to make sure your AI is vetted and ready. This is AI with Sohini, breaking down AI so you don't have to. Let's get started. So this is Sohini's flower shop, and Grace and Adam are my main employees around the 50 other employees I have. Grace leads payroll, Adam's operations, and this is the Excel sheet that I typically maintain. As you can see, these employees have their details, addresses, anything that is needed by Grace to ensure that they have the right insurance. While Adam is a forward thinker, he needs space to figure out who is available for overtime, for which shift, how can delivery routes be optimized. So all of those operational details have to be maintained by Adam. So for this data, I will need to define my ACLs or access control lists. As you can see, every single employee has access to a particular resource and other resources need to be denied for them. For instance, Grace does not need access to people's working hours and Adam does not need access to people's insurance. To scale this operation, I generate a graphical database where for every employee, I define the role, the department, and the ACLs that they have access to and the resources that they typically use on a day-to-day basis. And based off of these ACLs, now the workflow will make sure that the right data governance is in place. If an employee is trying to figure out what the working hours of another employee is, then the system will say, sorry, I do not have the access because the ACL policy is being violated. So this way, the right data guardrails can be ensured, and this can be applied with Neo4j, Amazon, and Azure Neptune. Next, we will look into how to ensure we get the right responses from AI and AI has the right guardrails in place not to confuse us. 1. I will tell AI what my background is so that it can explain it to me as it sees fit to that particular knowledge-based or skill-based. 2. I am going to explain or set a persona for the AI itself. Is it supposed to act like my assistant? Is it supposed to act like my partner? That needs to be clarified.
Number 3, I am going to give it generative principles. What is the way I would like to be spoken to and what is the kind of responses I am expecting? Now, for the same example of Sohini's flower shop, I am going to set these 3 guardrails onto AI and see how the response come up. Let's get started.
I am Sohini and I'm an expert in the field of artificial intelligence with many years of experience working on machine learning. Now for me, I would like you to be my friend. I don't want you to be my assistant. I want you to be my friend as I take difficult concepts and I try to break them down so that I can explain these tough concepts very easy to beginners. Now, what I want you to do is whenever I'm asking you a question, I want you to always bring me responses that have right sources and also cite the right sources and always make sure that you have vetted them. I don't want any unvetted responses and I also don't want any examples that you cook up. If you're reporting something, it has to be factual and make sure that you have as an LLM as a judge that has vetted the responses. Is that something that you can do?
We'll stick to verifiable facts, primary sources where possible, and I'll cite what I use. I'll also call out uncertainty instead of guessing. And when currency matters, I'll check for the latest. Sound good?
Absolutely. Now let's take a first example. I am a new business owner and I want to set up very safe AI usage with my employees. My company is a very small one. It's just 20 people and some of them are part-time and some of them are full-time. I don't want everybody to have access to all of the data, but I want, let's say, a Claude, Gemini, or a ChatGPT enabled so that they can ask their daily questions, make their life easier, but I also want the data securities to be inherently built in. What is some ways I can go about doing that? Number one. And second question, what kind of databases and subscriptions do I need to procure in order to ensure this can happen?
All right, here's a simple safety pattern for a 20-person shop. Buy a business tier AI plan, ChatGPT team, Claude team, or Gemini for workspace. And keep your documents in a proper system like Google Drive or SharePoint. Give people role-based access there and the AI just inherits those permissions. That way, a salesperson can't pull up an HR file. For most small firms, that combo is plenty. Business AI plan plus your existing document system with role-based access and multi-factor authentication. Only when you start doing heavier stuff do you need a vector database as a search layer, but then start there.
Can you show me some formats in which I can help set these up? I want you to structure all of this so that the ACLs and the responsibilities are inbuilt.
Yeah, Excel can totally work as your starting point. Set up 4 tabs, one for employees with columns for role, access level, and AI tool. Tab 2 is for roles and permissions, mapping roles to data categories like HR, finance, Eng, and so on. Then tab 3, knowledge sources, that's where each repo lives, who owns it, sensitivity, and whether AI access is enabled. Last one's AI policies, things like no customer PII in prompts or require human review before sharing. Later, if you move to a proper identity system, this sheet becomes your blueprint. If you want, show me the roles you have and I'll sketch a concrete example.
I wanted to leave you with the sample prompt from one of the authors I found on IG. Now, this might not be the exact format that you want your responses, but this is definitely a certain template that you can further customize. Please like, share, subscribe, and follow for more.